Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I'll go over, you guys can ask questions like after I go through this. I just wanted to explain and give you some value, and then whatever questions you have, whether it's about your offer, pricing, or just literally anything in your agencies, you can ask me after I go through this. But yeah, essentially construction and how to make your offer different, and then my pricing philosophy of how to actually, price your services. So yeah, there's a lot of noise. Like you probably have all seen like these models. And to be honest, it's a lot like short form content like a year ago. I highly recommend like don't getting involved in this if you can. If you're already doing it, it's fine. It can work, but it's just like way harder because there's way more competition. But what's more important than these services is figuring out why people are putting these into the market. So realistically, they're all just like angles for creating less competition. So if you think about it, these services here that you've probably seen on YouTube or other creators push, it makes sense from a like fundamental standpoint, because why are like other creators going to compete with each other on like selling SMMA services or selling some type of coaching or course? It just makes sense to naturally create your own angle within the market and then sell that basically. So that's all these services are. They're just angles. I think yeah, and also buzzwords, but mainly angles to get less competition because all the big players aren't going to compete with each other. So yeah, they're just applying this strategy, which I'm going to explain how you can do in a second. But realistically, there's only actually three types of services to make it really simple: done for you, done with you, and do it yourself. And I put a graph here to explain like the pros and cons. So done for you is easy to sell. This is probably what most of you guys are doing right now. Just because it's quite hard to do this, so do it yourself, and done with you when you haven't done the done for you part. So if you do done for you and you get to six figures, then you can possibly transition into these two, which are way harder to sell. I mean, not way harder, but they're slightly harder to sell, but so much easier to deliver basically. But initially you'll probably have to start with done for you, at least for like 6 months to a year, once you get like a ton of clients, because then you have the knowledge to be able to do done with you and do it yourself, which are way better models, but you can't really just jump into it immediately unless you have like a ton of skills, if that makes sense. But the good news is that it's easier to sell, which is why it probably makes sense to start with done for you, which is what most of you guys are doing, because your sales ability will get better and better the more you get on. I mean, it should at least. But yeah, that is like the like graph, or not graph, but like yeah, axis on what's easy to sell and hard to sell. But then eventually you'd want to transition into yeah, done with you and do it yourself. But basically, how can you stand out from the competition? Because I don't know if most of you guys are in the AI space, but yeah, it's getting crowded. So what I wanted to do is explain Steve Jobs' first principles thinking. He basically, this was when creating the iPhone. So there were multiple different thinking patterns when it comes to this. One is cognitive destruction, which is instead of accepting the norms of when the phone industry, he literally decided to break down the problem in its fundamental elements. He identified the core needs of consumers: a simple and intuitive device that combines multiple functions in an elegant and user-friendly manner. And I'm going to explain how you can actually use this as well, so you can do this as well. Next is abstraction and reduction. Jobs abstracted the problem to its essential principles of user experience, design aesthetics, and seamless integration of technology into its daily life. So into daily life. Yeah, you get the point. But I'm going to explain how you can actually use this in your agency to actually create a good offer, because most of your offers are like the exact same thing as everyone else. So of course it's going to be hard to sell if you're selling what other people are selling, basically, which is why I failed a lot when I started like 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. In that 6 month period, I was just going with like the content, what's it called? Like short form content, basically. And it was just way too like competitive. So I just want to quickly explain this, and then you guys can ask me questions after this. But the final thought process was elimination of assumptions. So he challenged the assumption that a smartphone must have a physical keyboard, or a input. And he also questioned the industry belief that users needed removable batteries in multiple hardware. So essentially, he applied first principles thinking, which is basically boiling down whatever problem you have to its like core fundamental truths. So if you struggle with appointment setting, once again, bring that down to first principles. Really easy to do. And this led to the creation of the iPhone. So yeah, by focusing on fundamental user needs and design principles, Jobs and Apple delivered a product that was not just incremental improvement, but a paradigm shift in the way we interact with mobile technology. So essentially, he was obsessed with product design, which is what you guys need to be, because you probably know this, but actually wait, no, I was going to say the other slides, but yeah, like Jobs himself, he literally like obsessed about parts of the iPhone which you will never have like even seen. So like the printed circuit boards had to be like made the best. He made like he made parts that you couldn't even see within the service, like the best basically. And you guys need to be obsessed with product design because, or service design, you should say. But it's mainly because it will correlate into your like confidence. So if you struggle with, or you get nervous before sales calls, or you get nervous when you do your cold calls or appointment setting, it's probably because you don't have the most belief in what you're selling. Because if you were selling something that was going to change people's lives, then you'd probably be okay selling it, and you'd probably be okay asking the hard questions on the actual sales call, because you know that if the prospect buys, it's generally going to change their business and potentially their life. So yeah, be obsessed with its with service delivery. And if you don't have clients, I recommend just getting one, just to literally learn the ins and outs when it comes to your service. But I'll talk about pricing in a second. One final thing for this like part, I mean, I don't know if it's a final bit, but yeah, inimitability. I don't know how many of you guys know what this means, but this is a very important factor when it comes to actually making a lot of money online, because once again, if you copy what everyone else is doing, you will not see success, or maybe you will, but what will happen is it will like die out. And what's worse than hitting 10K a month is making 10K and then never being able to do it again. So make sure you listen and understand this word here. So essentially, and by the way, this basically means hard to replicate, but I'll explain how you do this in a second. So most of you know this, but you can either make client acquisition easy or hard. If you want it to be easy, then you need to make the back end, so the fulfillment, hard to replicate, and inimitable, which basically just means hard to replicate, or yeah, pretty much. But and here's how you can do that, because I also wanted to include an example. So yeah, your offer is made up of mechanisms. Now, most of you probably just have one mechanism, or maybe two at a push. So an example of a mechanism would be ads, or an AI bot is another example, or I don't know, let's say you do content for a client, that's a mechanism. It's essentially one thing that's going to get them from one place to another. But the problem is that most of you only have like one or two mechanisms in your delivery. Now, you should be only solving one problem. So let's say you're working with coaches, you should only be solving appointment setting, or you should only be solving lifetime value, or churn, or something like that. But it's important you have multiple mechanisms that ideally can solve one problem. So yeah, within the one problem you solve in your niche, basically, but also fast to deliver a return on investment and not much time involved. And this is a massive factor, because most of you, and I'll explain this in the pricing part in a minute, but most of you guys are literally like becoming slaves to your clients because you haven't understood the mechanisms involved and how to create mechanisms that can deliver results but don't require time on your end. Because honestly, like when I was making like 20K a month, I had like, I think probably like 10 to 15 clients, and it was all done for you at this stage, but like it was the most like stressful thing ever. So yeah, and that's because I didn't think about beforehand what it would be like, and it just wasn't worth making like money if you're that involved in the process. So an example of a fast deliver return on investment without much time involved would be like a database reactivation. That's one example. I'm trying to think of another one. Ideally utilize their existing brand. So that's what a database reactivation is. But it's something you can do like for every if you're serving like if the problem you're solving is like getting clients for businesses, or let's say it's saving time, think about something you can just put as a mechanism into the service delivery that can get them results and doesn't have much time involved, but also I probably should have put here increases lifetime value just as a bonus. So for example, I put a AI like appointment setter into one of my coaches like social media channels who's doing like 50K a month. So that's an example of something that you can immediately just put in. It took me like 30 minutes to just like put the snapshot into his like account basically, and then it automatically just starts booking meetings. The speed to lead is there because it's an AI bot. There's no like buffer, or it's not relying on like humans to actually respond and book appointments. And there's not much time involved, and it also increases lifetime value because for every month that goes past, obviously he's going to pay me because it's doing like way more of the heavy lifting than a human would, or for him to actually respond to the DMs himself. Like it just makes sense for this whole thing to work. But that's an example of like a mechanism that took me like 30 minutes and will allow me to get paid every single month, like with no time involved. So I've already built it. And it's pretty fast to deliver appointments. But you can get creative with this. So just have a think after this meeting about what you can include on the back end to have these three things. I don't want to take up too long because we're only halfway through this, but yeah, everything goes back to your niche and how well you understand it. So please don't just like, once again, copy and go into like other people's niches. It's really important you go into a niche that you actually know a bit about, but also want to work with the clients. So when I started, the first types of coaches I used to work with was like fitness coaches, because I knew that if I could get them clients, then it would sort of just make the like world a better place because more people get fit. So the purpose was there, whereas most of you would just have gone into a niche for just going into a niche basically. So make sure you think about those two things: how well you know your niche, and also how sort of are they the types of people you actually like to work with. And then as you scale, you can, be more picky around who you work with. But maybe if you're just starting out and you haven't got your first 5 clients, which I don't think most of you have, then it's okay to just like, you sort of have to just not be too picky and just get what you get basically. But yeah, let me quickly talk about pricing because most agencies, coaches, and just B2B companies are quite literally just like racing to the bottom. It's honestly painful to see, and I used to do this, so please don't do this. But I understand why you would do this because I've been in your situation before. So most of you have cheap services. You probably check your competitors' rates, and you probably increase the fees slowly. Yeah, I used to do this because I think one of the reasons why I made my service cheaper when I was starting out was because I wasn't too confident in it. So I didn't want to charge 5K, 10K for something that, I wasn't sure. And that's fine if you're getting your first like client or two. But ideally, anything after that, you would want to not do any of these three things. So yeah, you need to understand these things when it comes to pricing quickly. So method of measurement. So I'll give you an example. This is a pretty good one, but let's say I've got water for $1 and you've got like a diamond for $5,000. If I walk up to you in public and offer you my $1 water in exchange for $5,000 of your diamond, you probably wouldn't do it unless you've got a brain problem or you're stupid. But now let's say that's 2 slides, but let's say you're in a race across the desert, and the winner who can get to the other side of the desert first gets 2 million. The race, let's say the race has been going on for 7 days and you're dehydrated, you haven't had water in 36 hours, and you remember that the winner gets 2 million of the person who can get to the other side of the desert. And then your competitors are obviously catching up to you in the race. they're behind you. And now I come in with my water, but now I charge 5K for my water. Would you take it? You probably would, because if you can have this water, get hydrated, and win the race, you win 2 million. So the premise for why you would buy this bottle of water for $5,000 when you wouldn't buy it for $1 before is 5K is nothing compared to 2 million. So in a business sense or in your agency, because I wanted to do like an actual how you can take away like tangible ways of going about this. You need to make the prospect understand the long-term prize or the long-term vision and how insignificant your fees are compared to it. So that's important. If you're selling something high ticket in the future, that's like 5K, 10K, even more, you have to go way more into the long-term price of it. So in the questioning part, building up the emotion, and yeah, and what I do on sales calls is because most people think that the pitch in a sales call is like the main part. That is like completely wrong. You should have already gotten the prospect to want to buy your service without even getting to the pitch. And what I do is I make my prospects realize what it would cost for them not to work with me before I actually get to the pitch, if that makes sense. Or maybe you're confused, but let's say you charge 5K, you would have your sales call, you would, you know, do your usual thing, you would ask your questions for the first 20 minutes, or at least you should be. And then in the questioning part, you would obviously understand where they are currently and where they want to be. And then, you know, that gap is essentially how I make them realize that we're solving a massive problem here. And the long-term prize is like, so for example, let's say, you know, a coach is doing 5K and they want to get to 20K. That's like a 15K problem, which I would like make them realize, but in a joking way. So then when I get to the price and it's only 5K, it just makes sense because they already have the like thought of, oh, you know, we're solving a 15K problem here. It's worth 5K at least. So yeah, that's important, especially when you're selling high ticket. Make your prospect understand the long-term vision rather than just like month to month. And then how insignificant your, you know, fees are compared to it. The second reason for why you would buy this is obviously you might die without the water. So once again, in your agency or business, build up emotion and fear in the sales process, and then include scarcity. Similar to what I just mentioned here, make the prospect actually be like aware of what would happen if they don't fix this problem and would their business die, and then include scarcity on the back end, and then you're going to be like chilling basically. So hopefully this makes sense so far and I haven't just confused you. But next is the diamond means nothing without getting through the game. Your original offer of $1 can go a lot further and can be insanely more valuable when sold in the right environment. So yeah, like if you're selling your offer right now to just broke people, then obviously you're not going to be able to make a ton of money. But if you put it in the right environment and you target the right people, it can actually be more valuable to those people and everyone else will be happy. And to be honest, I've worked with like, it's always the like $500 or lower ticket clients who are always way like more picky when it comes to your agency. Whereas if you were to work with like 5K clients, everything is just better. Assuming you know what you do, because you can't just like charge 5K immediately without having done it before. But if you have a few clients, then I recommend increasing your prices and trying to sell in the right environment to the right people. And they're always just better clients to work with, and they're more involved in it. So one of the problems is when you charge like low ticket or you have like a free trial, or you're not, obviously you don't have skin in the game, but they also don't have skin in the game as well. So they're not going to be as motivated to help you get results compared to if you were to charge 5K, they're going to be way more invested. They're going to work with you, you know, better, and you are going to feel like you're going to have to deliver results, which puts pressure on you, which will hopefully get better results compared to if you were to only charge 500, you wouldn't be as motivated to get your client results basically. So it's actually a good thing. And if you don't have experience, you kind of have to rely on your character to be able to actually get results, if that makes sense. So if you don't have skills, you basically just have to rely on your character and yeah, that kind of thing to just try your best to deliver results. So if you don't have a client, then just make the promise to yourself right now that when you do get a client, you're going to give it your absolute all to get them the best results you can, or at least try your absolute hardest to get them the best results. So yeah, I don't know what's left of this, but okay, another example, Trump gets 1.5 million an hour. That's outrageous. But yeah, to speak at. So yeah, so you're probably struggling to make like 5K a month, and it's just Donald Trump making like 1.5 mil an hour. So this goes back to it. Like, is he the most articulate speaker? Definitely not. Have you like heard him speak? He's not the most fluent. He's not the most like just prolific. But is his content of what he actually says the best? Like, once again, no, it's not the best. Like, you probably know like 100 people who can speak better than him, basically. So how does he get this much for, literally not being the best speaker, not having the best content in what he's talking about, and just not the most articulate? So it comes down to values plus vision equals value. So his vision, he said it'll make America great again. Values, he doesn't need to be funded or sponsored. So who you become in your industry and what values you stand for and how you promote your services are what matter, not necessarily your age, which I think I talked about here. So yeah, age, experience, talent are not everything when it comes to selling high ticket and selling premium prices, basically. Yes, obviously experience and talent do play a part, but it's not the only thing. But ideally you wouldn't want to just charge, very high ticket. First, you need to work your way up. But assuming you guys maybe have a client, or maybe when you get clients in the future, don't just charge what your competitors are charging. Don't lower your prices unless it's a downsell, which I should have made clear at the start. But you can offer payment plans, but only when you realize that they literally cannot afford your services. And even then, you would want to make it seem like exclusive, like you don't always offer the downsell option. But yeah, same with like McDonald's. Like, their burgers aren't the best. You probably know like better places to get burgers than McDonald's, but why are they able to make like 20 to 30 billion a year? It just comes down to how they promote their services, which is more important than actually what you are selling, basically. But obviously you'd want to have a good service. And obviously, once again, like Steve Jobs, become obsessed when it comes to I don't know where I put that. Yeah, just product design and becoming inimitable. So making your service hard to deliver, which will make it easy to get clients. But hopefully this helped a bit. I don't want to speak too much because I know you guys probably have questions and we'll be here for like the whole Sunday. But I just wanted to include this just to give you some value when it comes to your offer and how to make it inimitable, and also how to price and not lower your prices to the bottom, basically. But yeah, do you guys have any questions? Or yeah, you probably do. No? Anyone?
But I got a question.
Yeah,
Um,
go for it.
so my services, I know you're providing AI automation, but I chose to do something different because I'm in copywriting and email marketing.
Yeah,
So when you was going, I don't know if you can, but can you go back to the tab when you was talking about easy to deliver and
yeah,
it being easy to deliver and you having not to waste time and things like that? But I was just thinking, do I need to hire someone, because I know some people don't have the same copywriting skills as I do, due to the education that I got. So what do you think? Like, do you think I should try to find a bot for it? I've been using ChatGPT, which helped me a lot with the time. But I was just trying to ask you that question. I got another one, but ask you
yeah.
that one.
Okay, so you're asking, should you outsource the copywriting? Is that it?
Yeah, just due to like to time, because I know if I get clients, one of my package deals is like 3 to 5 emails. So I do like package deals. So they do 3 to 5 emails every time, and that usually take me like 1 or 2 hours. So if I have 10 clients, that's a lot of hours to be spending trying to deliver. Not even taking sales calls or nothing like that.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Do you have any clients right now or not?
I got clients right now, but it's not really clients. It's like people that is working with me for testimonials. And then well I do have one client, but it's like a commission based, performance based type of close.
Okay, got it. Yeah, the only reason I'm asking is so I can get more information and give you better advice. But I think what I would do if I was you is I would get a few paying clients. So like maybe like 1 or 2K a month each. If you're just starting out, and then once you once it becomes painful to actually deliver the service delivery, so when it's like too much time or yeah, then you can outsource. But it's good that you actually know how to do copywriting or you're somewhat good at copywriting because most people they make the mistake of like trying to outsource to fix their like entire business. So an example would be like virtual assistants. Most people think that if they hire like a trained VA, that it's gonna like completely fix everything, but the VA is only as good as the person giving that VA information, basically. So if you don't know how to book meetings, then if you hire a VA, it probably like won't work. But yeah, I in your situation, like I would probably deliver for like 2 to 3 clients, and then basically yeah, outsource that. That's totally fine. But yeah, that's what I'd recommend if that helps. And you yeah,
Okay,
go for
cool.
your second question because I think you had enough one.
Yeah, speaking of VAs, because that was where the other question was going into. I was doing auto IGDM. I know we was talking back and forth about that. When I get the Instagram accounts, I bought like four of them.
Yeah.
When I got the Instagram account, I didn't buy the proxy. Do I need the proxy first, or
Uh, how many messages are you going to be sending a day?
however many messages like it allowed me to for real?
Yeah, got it. Um, so
So I bought four accounts. So if you estimate
honestly,
on,
yeah, I know a lot of people talk about like proxies and like the hide my account, and you can do that if you want. You can set it up, but I think a massive. I think in last week's, I don't know when I explained this, but yeah, it was in last week's call. Maybe you weren't here, but you can watch it in the classroom. I basically put like a vault where you can see all the um past coaching calls, at least for these Sunday set topics one. But I basically talked about like the biggest constraints. So like a constraint is obviously like why you can't book meetings through like Instagram DMs, or if you
Mhm.
start sending Instagram DMs, why you wouldn't be able to do it. And volume does play a factor, but what will be more important is having like a good profile and also the like lead quality. But it's mainly your profile and lead quality, not the actual copy or the volume. So one problem that you may come into like into the future is you'll be sending a lot of volume, which is good, but
Mhm.
profiles don't look good, then it won't really convert that well.
Right.
Yeah, in essence, don't like worry too much about proxies and that kind of thing. Yeah, if you're sending a few hundred DMs a day, which is like fine, it should be fine by itself, basically.
Okay. And with the Instagram profile, I think I sent you a video. When I bought the accounts and I try to change the profile, it go back to the first account that I made and it won't let me change it. I don't know if it's because I'm on the same Chrome user or if I'm on the same laptop or whatever it is. But when I bought the account, it wouldn't let me change the name.
Got it. Yeah, that's weird. I think it takes what, like 14 days for you to be able to change the Instagram name. I don't know if that works. But yeah, I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know.
cool.
It's not the end of the world because I think I saw your accounts and I told you like not to put numbers in your like
Yeah.
Instagram name, but it's not the end of the world. Like it's fine.
Okay, cool. And I was setting up to go high level last night, and I'm still getting that set up. So I seen the writing sequence and the themes we have to create. Do you have a video on how to create like the themes?
Say that again. You said
Like when I went to the go high level,
yeah.
it's a workflow, but inside of the workflow, I think you have to create something. Like you have to create the actual I don't know the word for it. Like
You mean like a prompt, like a
um
trigger?
I probably have to show you. I probably have to show you.
Yeah, that's fine. You can show me. Yeah,
All right. I just shoot you a text message or something.
yeah, that's all good.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. Has anyone? Got any questions? Further questions?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so my question is that do you send a VSL to someone when you are talking in the IG DMs, or do you send them to your website where you just basically put the VSL? So right now I'm sending the VSL to someone. It's a video like 1 minute long, and most of them they see the video but they don't respond. You can see that they have seen the message, the video, I mean, but
Yeah.
they usually don't respond after that. So shall I rather send them the website and put the VSL in there? So how does this work? What's the best way to do this?
Yeah, got it. Okay, so you're asking, yeah, if you should have the VSL. I mean, are you sending the VSL as like the first message?
No, no. I'm sending the first message and getting them to say yes.
Yeah,
Then I'm asking them another question like, are you fully booked, or maybe
yeah.
you can handle another one. And then I'm telling asking them for permission to send the video, and then they say yes, and only after that I am sending the video to them.
Okay, yeah. And okay, so if your first reply rate is good, and your second reply rate is good, and you can get permissions to like actually send the video, then if you're not getting bookings, then it's probably comes down to the content in your video, and maybe your offer. What service are you providing?
Currently, I'm serving in the interior design niche.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them like 2 to 3 residential projects in 30 days.
Okay, got it. If I was you, I would. So yeah, the video. How long's the video as well?
It's like 1.5 minute, like
Okay.
within 90 seconds. Otherwise, Instagram doesn't allow you to send it.
Yeah, yeah, I get you. Okay. If I was you, I would split test. So let's say, just as an example, you were to send 100 a day. Ideally send 50 with the video and then 50 without. Because I always used to I always recommend just getting people on a meeting. And then you can send them like as much video content you want in the actual nurturing process. So when someone books a meeting, you can then send them assets and videos. Um, but I think for you, maybe split test like sending the video versus not sending the video, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely do that.
Yeah. Most people fail because they don't split test enough. Like same with like email, like sending cold emails. Like people like literally just let's say they do 100 emails a day, they just do 100 emails with like the same script. So make sure you have like 50 messages with your like video, and then 50 messages where instead of asking for a video, you ask for like a quick meeting, or like a possibility to chat, and see which one performs better. In my experience, if you can get people to watch a video and then book a call, they're slightly more warmed up, compared to if you would just book them in originally. But in your situation, if you're not getting the like people to watch the videos, then it may make sense to actually just what's it called? Like get them on a meeting, and then before the meeting, send them your videos once they actually book, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I will try doing that. Okay. And I also have one more question. Like, can I do the SMS campaigns from a toll-free number?
Yeah, I think so. So toll-free numbers are easier to get like verified basically because they only take a few
Absolutely. Yeah.
days. But if you're not in America, then yeah, I think you can just buy a toll-free number and start sending basically. Yeah, compared to a local number, I think a local number takes way longer to get like ATP verified. But if you're not in America, I don't think you need ATP. I could be wrong though. But yeah.
Yeah, actually, but I'm using Twilio as my service provider for numbers, and they are saying that I need to get the verification done for my local number, and it is a very long process. as much I understood from their team. So I was trying to go for a toll-free number and send messages from that. It is much easier to get toll-free number verified, as much as I understood.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that would be good, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, toll-free numbers, it takes like I think a few days, whereas
Right,
the
right, right,
local
right.
number, so the other one takes like a few weeks, which is annoying, but yeah,
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thank you, man.
awesome. Okay, who's next? No one.
Hey Charlie, I have a question. It's about the offer. Is it better to have a very precise offer on something very precise, or a complete system, a very complete infrastructure that takes everything for the clients?
Yeah, got it. Wait, say that again. You said, is it better to have a precise offer or
Yeah,
a...
like let's say an ecosystem that contains multiple different offers in one complete offer, or one very precise offer that is a part of that ecosystem.
Okay, yeah,
If
what you would want to do is you would want to have like an offer which has obviously like a quantifiable outcome. So like, for example, for you, it would be we help SaaS, I don't know, decrease churn or something in X amount of days, and ideally have like some number that they can gauge how much it's going to help them. But then ideally also you would have the mechanisms behind that, which would basically like add up to the offer, if that makes sense. So the reason you can do that, or let's say another example, let's say you help like real estate agents get like, I don't know, 30 qualified leads a month or something. The mechanisms would be how you would do that basically. But you wouldn't go too much into the mechanisms, but it allows you to have that good like offer, the precise one, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so but so is it better to have yeah, so it changed nothing, that's it?
Yeah, no, I think yours is fine. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, thanks.
awesome.
Yeah, so I have one quick question. So as I told you some time ago, we are getting closer to close this IRL client because unfortunate realities of Polish business are everything is so slow. So my question to you is this. So the client said approximately it could be around like 1.5 to 2K USD for this chatbot. And now we are like me and my business partner, we were kind of thinking about maybe because we are know that he's rich and he's willing to invest even more. However, we are kind of struggling with what we could like add to the offer instead of this chatbot. So he's running an e-commerce store which is selling cheese in Poland and Germany, and I'm like wondering what I could kind of upsell him on, because I was trying to like look for his business, but there was nothing I could find that could actually give him value. So I could charge like instead of 2 grand for like 3 or 4. So do you have any ideas or maybe some systems or approach I could take?
Yeah, got it. How much are you currently charging for him, or have you not like agreed on the price yet?
Right now we are not charging him anything yet because that's gonna be one-time payment to set up the bot for him, and then so we want to charge him upfront higher amount of money and then like manage the bot in case something would break down. We would just help him for the next like 6 months, let's say. So a package for support. And yeah, we are not charging him anything yet, but it's going to be one-time payment. So right now we are just trying to build a bot. I was using Stock AI, but I don't know if if you've been using Stock AI recently, they had some problems with the platform, so I moved to the different software. And right now we are in a bot development process. So I'm just curious what I could add.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, it depends. Does he have like a database of leads, or how big is this like e-com store he has?
Yeah, so the ecom store was pretty much dead for the past like couple weeks or months because that's his side business, his most like his 90% into construction real estate. So he's not really running this business, but he said that right now he's gonna revive the business. So I have no information in regards to the lead center or anything like that. So I would have to ask him. But I know that most of his traffic comes from SEO and like in general, just normal Google search, organic search, because he got scammed once on Facebook ads, and now he has a really negative approach to paid ads, and he said that there's no way he's gonna pay for paid ads in the future. So
Yeah. I mean, the obvious one would be just like take his leads that if he has any already. So like people who have like opted in, or like, I don't know, maybe existing customers in the past or something like that, and then just run like a SMS campaign or email campaign, which doesn't really take much time, but you could get in results by doing that. But if I was you, I would,
Mhm.
yeah, do the upfront fee for like the AI bot, but then also charge a small monthly subscription for that, basically. That's what I'd recommend, but you don't need any like fancy. Besides, yeah, utilizing if he has leads, then maybe ask him, and you can possibly do like an email campaign for him. Which honestly, like email marketing is probably the like easiest way to get clients if he already has like warm leads, basically. I think, yeah, it's like for every dollar I think a business puts into like email marketing, they get like 36 back, which is insane. Because it doesn't rely on like the algorithm to like get results, because emails are very like person to person. Which is why I recommend everyone actually here to like collect an email list of like warm leads. But nonetheless, yeah, that would be like an easy mechanism you could do for him. Or just charge a monthly subscription and get him to pay you each month for like no work.
Oh yeah, so actually I thought about charging him monthly, but the problem is that in Poland, if I'm gonna do that without registering the company, police may knock on my door one day. So because it's really weird how the Polish tax law works. So it's better for us to charge him, higher payment one time at the beginning, and then in case something, breaks down, we're just gonna help him out, than it is for us to charge a retainer. So
Yeah, that's fine. It is probably better to get more cash up front, but
yeah.
I was just thinking like get cash up front and then also have like a small monthly
Yeah, we also
subscription.
thought about that, but the
Because-
risk is too big with the
Yeah.
law and everything. Yeah, but don't you think he's gonna look a bit weird on us because I introduced myself as this AI guy on this IRL, and he now views us as the guys from AI, the automation stuff and everything. So isn't that gonna be a bit weird when I'm gonna just come up with the idea of running an email campaign, because he's gonna be like, hold on a second, like what do you know about emails if you run AI campaigns, like AI automation agency?
I mean, there's not too much that can go wrong. Like if he's not already utilizing emails, then you could just say that like you're missing out on quite a bit of money, or leaving money on the table, basically. That's what I would say if I was you.
Do you think it makes sense to introduce him to AI email campaigns like Lemlist, or use software like Instantly? Because I think Instantly is providing the AI marketing campaigns with email.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that for sure. Yeah, or just like write it yourself, or yeah, get AI to write it. Just make sure it's like actually sounds good and has good copy. But yeah,
All right. Yeah, then I think that's all I want to ask you. So thank you.
awesome, no problem. Okay, Edward, have you got a question? I think I don't know. Yeah.
Let me put my hand on one second. Hi Charlie. What I've done is fully changed my offer. Is where it's actually better on their end for me to actually get them good results. So what I'm actually doing is I come into the business and leverage out like their team members, like for someone for marketing and the sales. So if they need the ISA sales rep, media buyer, they own it, but they pay me upfront fees to build out all the systems, place the talent that they own that I don't have to pay off. They own themselves and build out the systems from there. And if after like the 2-3 months they want managing fees and me coming as a operation and plus management for the whole team within there, and plus is number one is saving them money. Instead of like 24 grand a year if they pay like 2,500, per month for like a whole year. You're getting it all at once, making sure everything's done. Do you think that's a good idea? I've been reaching out to people and they said,
Yeah, so you said, your question is it better to charge upfront than monthly retainers, right? I think you're muted, Edward.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, getting cash up front's obviously good. It's just whether like the purchasing power is like that high to be able to spend like 24K. But if it is, then yeah, go for it. Yeah, I think it's totally fine to do that, or you could offer an incentive for pay in fulls. I know a lot of people that do that. So if you were to charge 2.5K a month, which is, I don't know how much that'd be exactly per year, but you get the point. You could offer 20 grand up front, so they save like a few thousand if they do pay in fulls. Basically, that's another option. But yeah, I mean, go for it. You can always try that, and if it doesn't work, then at least you can just price anchor the monthly. Worst case.
yeah, most definitely. Thank you. Also, I've got another one before you go. I'm looking on like for cold calling. It's actually kind of warm leads now because most of the leads I call now, not just through my content, I'm making sure I contact them in certain ways. So I need to like have a dialogue where it calls to leads. Do you think like Close AI is good? I don't know about that, but what Close AI does, right? I think is that it calls many of the like it dials like many people at one time, and then it picks up like yeah, it picks up they pick yeah something like that. I can't remember. Do you
Okay.
have any like dialers that are good for cold calling?
Um, yeah, I can't remember the exact name, but there was one that was like the problem is that like cold calling for like AI is really expensive. Because like the usage is so high. It has to, yeah. But I mean, I would personally just do it like manually. I think until it gets cheaper, like I think it's too expensive to do like AI calling. If that was your question.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, unless you get the money. I mean, are you talking about doing this for yourself to get clients or for your clients?
Both.
Okay, if it's for your clients, then obviously you could get the money up front and then put it into AI calling. But if it's for yourself, then it may be pricey, if you get what I mean.
Okay, cool.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a quick question on my outreach.
Yeah, go for it.
So I just joined about like a week ago-ish. So I'm like just like now finishing like your outreach with DMs and stuff like that. So I was gonna do like LinkedIn and Facebook. So one of my things was this is for like property managers. So I'm gonna just doing like the welcome or the greeting and stuff like that. And, the thing I was wondering about. So once I get to the part like, is your business looking for, and then put in your dream outcome. So I was like kind of like getting down to like a couple different things. I was wondering if it should be like more like broad or like a little more specific. So one of the ones I thought I was gonna go with, is your business open to the idea of saving money and time while making your business run smoother? Um, there's a few other different ones, but I was thinking that was like the one I should go with. So I was just wondering like what your thoughts was.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Is that like the first message that you're gonna do, or
No, so the first message was hi, first name, hope your day's going good. And then I was gonna ask them if they're like the CEO of whatever company. The next, I'll just be like, okay, awesome, messaging you because I think I've got something valuable, but
okay, got it. So you're gonna pitch in the second one, or you're gonna ask a question in the second one, or
um, I mean, I guess it'd be kind of a pitch. Kind of comes off pitchy. So like in the second message, I'm just being like, I'm messaging because I think I've got something valuable. Is your business looking for more like clients or whatever?
yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's good that you have like a first message, which just is purely meant to get a response. Because if you actually like track this, which I recommend you do, I put tracking sheets into the classroom section, so you have like good tracking sheets now. But yeah, I basically recommend, the first question is good because that should allow you to get like a 15% to 20% first reply rate, which is like pretty normal. And then for the second message, you can pitch like briefly like what you are doing. I've seen that work before. I think it's quite easy to like overthink like the micro like aspects of like your script. And always like wanting to change stuff, which is like funny because I had the exact same thing when I started, but it should be fine. I've done that before on book meetings. Once again, I think what will be like more important is how like good your profile looks and the actual quality of leads you reach out to, which are probably more
Right. Yeah, I have
of
a decent like brand on LinkedIn and everything. I'm gonna split test it anyways. Work with the different things.
Exactly. Yeah, split test. That's what I recommend. Most people don't split test enough. But yeah, ideally split test it, track it, and then whichever one's performing best after, I think 2 weeks is probably a good enough time to like get good data. As long as you're doing like, I don't know, quite a bit per day. After 2 weeks, see which one's getting a higher booking rate or, just better response rate, and then just dial in that one basically and go all in. That's what I'd recommend. But yeah, it seems fine.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't worry about that.
All right, cool. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Okay.
Hey, I have a quick question, Charlie. So for Nick, you just talked about as long as he does enough volume with the DMs, then it should 2 weeks should be enough time for him to get enough information. So what would be the minimum DM amount? Because when we talked, I think last week, I'm working up to getting to 100 per day. I'm not there yet. But would you recommend 100 be kind of like the baseline and then, I don't know, and then a couple hundred more, or like what kind of number do you have in mind?
Yeah, so especially when you've got like software like you do, or just nowadays you can get like automate software to send these DMs for you. I think the minimum should be 100. If you can hit 100 and it like that, and that's pretty good, it will allow you to get data and make better decisions. Because I think like just outbound in general is like fractal, meaning that if you were to send 500 DMs and you weren't able to get any meetings, it's unlikely the next 500 would get any meetings. So if you can just start with 100, which is quite a small amount, but it isn't like that small, you know what I mean? It's kind of the sweet spot. And then you were able to like get some positive replies, maybe get a meeting per 100 DMs or even one per 200. At least like it's consistent somewhat. And then you can increase that once you actually have the predictability. But I think 100 is probably a good amount to go with basically to start with.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Yeah, like I said, I'm scaling up to 100 DM sends per day and warming up my second account so that way I can start sending messages from that one as well. So I'll probably start on that today and just see how it goes.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, I think just make sure your profiles are good. If you like, I think I told you last time, but try to get the blue tick if you can. That helps. Like I've noticed it helps quite a bit when it comes to first reply rate and booking rate, and it's like $10 or $15 per month. So it's definitely worth it in my opinion. But I think as long as your profile's good, if you start with 100 and track it, or you get a VA to track it, that should allow you to get good data and then make better decisions. And ideally split test like I think we talked about last time. But yeah, you'll be fine. I think just start sending out basically.
So I did get the blue check mark on my main account, but since this is like a secondary account, I don't think that would be, or I would be able to get one on that, like, because it would look weird. So, but I definitely got it on the main account. So what I'm thinking about doing is maybe like for the second account saying, hey, at whatever my main account, and then they could see the blue check mark, be like, oh, this is a real person. So I'll see how that works.
I mean, it's actually interesting because if you test both, I can guarantee that on the main account you'll have a higher first reply because I mean, it's a good test to do. Like maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I think it should be better on your main account. You'll get better replies and meetings probably.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I got like some It just happened like yesterday, so I don't have enough data at this point. All I got is like some weird guy trying to talk to me about the thing I'm not, or something else outside of what I'm trying to talk about. So he just gets ignored. But we'll see what happens this week with the blue check mark.
Yeah, exactly. Nice. Yeah, let me know how it goes as well. Always, yeah, I can help with that. But yeah, Chris, do you have a question?
Yeah, how's it going, Charlie? So I know you mentioned like database reactivations and email marketing, which is something I do for my clients.
Yeah.
For the actual emails themselves, I'm sure you don't want to come off like too selly, like at least in the copy of the emails. I'm sure you want to also provide some kind of value in your emails.
Yeah.
Do you know how to kind of come up with a good mixture or balance of both? Because I'm sure you do want to sell to like remind people to like buy from the coaches I work with, but at the same time, like I don't know. Do you have any advice?
Yeah, so what I do at least is I have like value. So when it comes to like a newsletter, because that's realistically what you're doing, I think.
Yeah.
When it comes to a newsletter, I recommend having like a value or having stories. Stories are really powerful. If you can, yeah, get your clients to give you like, I don't know, maybe examples or templates of stories and stuff, or just like um that should allow you to resonate with your coaches like potential clients, if that makes sense. By having a story or having some type of like value in the first part. So the thing with newsletters is you can make it like pretty long. You can make it like, I don't know how many I'd recommend. I don't know words exactly, but like a good like, I don't actually know how many words, if you know what I mean, but I'm sure you can get an idea of what I'm trying to say. Like you can have it like quite long, and then at the end you can basically say like PS, I don't know, I'm opening a few more spots for coaching this month. If you want one, just reply back to this email, I don't know, coaching, and I'll send you more info. Like that's an example of what I would do. So you have value or you have a story in the first part, maybe like a combination of both. And then once you get to the bottom, you can then just put like a PS or I've got a few coaching spots. Yeah, hopefully that makes sense though.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And is there a way like on high level to see like who replies and um like
Yeah,
send them
that
back
will be in your
info?
conversations tab. So if you go into high level and you go to conversations, you can manage like all the email replies, but also like Instagram DMs and SMS replies all in just one spot basically. Um, or what you could do is you could set up like a keyword. So instead of you actually having to respond back when a lead responds with the like keyword, like I said, to put at the end of the email if they're interested, you could set up like an automation where it would automatically just send them like an email back being like, hey, here's a link to book. Talk to you soon, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Thank you.
Or you could just put like the link to book a call in the actual first email. There's nobody right or wrong. I've seen both work. I personally just do like the link in the email, but yeah, it's up to you. You can test it, I guess.
Yeah. All right, I appreciate it.
Awesome. Okay.
Hi, Charlie.
Hi. Yeah, go for it.
I was talking about the Instagram thing, right? Um, I need to buy more accounts, but as I did buy at that time when you sent the other thing, but I forgot what it was. Number one, to buy more Instagram accounts. Um, also, when it comes to split testing with the DMs, do you think I should do as much outreach as I can on different accounts
Um,
and then see like by like split testing between them?
Ideally, you just have like one or two accounts. I think I said in the past that you can send like 700 DMs there if you want, but I think if you're starting out, it's much better to have like actually I would say like two or three main accounts. that what you can do is you would obviously message, but you'd also follow every person you message. So you'll start to get some follow you back, and then you'll be able to put content and post stories to get leads interested or engage leads. So the problem is that if you like diversify all that attention, so let's say you were to have like 10 Instagram accounts and you message and follow everyone, on these 10 different accounts, you're going to get followers on like all these different accounts. So then you would have to post stories and post content onto all the accounts. Whereas if you just had 1 or 2 accounts and you followed everyone and you had like 10 people follow you back in your ideal like client profiles, you get what I'm saying? Like it's much easier to build
Yeah,
good
to
accounts
manage
with 1 or 2 basically.
Yeah, to manage as well. So I actually got three accounts that I've got. So how do I, because I got the content, I posted my clients on there, I have my content on there. How else can I fully optimize it? I heard like the blue tick from main account. And how do I make sure when within the DMs, I share like my main account so they can actually see it, something like that. Have that shit.
Say that again. You said how can you?
So basically, how do I fully optimize my Instagram? I got the content on there, I got my clients on there, I've got a few results on there. All I need is if I should do like the blue tick, and once I do that, when I'm doing my outreach on my other accounts, do I show them my main account, something like that?
No, probably not. You would want to post your like case studies into your story highlights, so you would have that on the page. And then ideally pin top 3 photos, which are like lifestyle, or maybe 1 testimonial, video testimonial if you can get that. But no, you probably wouldn't want to like send them to your main one. Just yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charlie, so I have a follow-up to that question because that was something I was thinking about doing because my second account isn't optimized yet. I mean, I have 3 personal photos that are like lifestyle photos, but that's it. And if I'm messaging somebody talking about the thing I want to talk about, they'd be like, who is this person? And so that's why I was trying to figure out like how to, I guess how to optimize that second account in a way where I seem credible. If I just have lifestyle photos, that's not gonna tell them that I know anything about the topic I'm trying to reach out to them about.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good question. So in my experience, yeah, people buy from people, and especially when you're in the like industry that you are going to be in, people care more about like desires and things like that than like from the people that I've worked with, that are making like serious amounts of money. They have value, but they also slip in like lifestyle into that, if that makes sense. But yeah, you can post like those tweets or like certain like reels that have like more education based. But I'm just saying like ideally put like or pin 3 photos just of you basically in the top 3, which allow the prospect to see you as a real person, which is more important than educating, because you can educate the prospect in the post booking like SOP basically. So when they book a meeting, they get videos, they get system proof, they get all these things leading up to the meeting, which then you can educate and help. But yeah, that's just what I've seen work. But it's up to you. You can post like value and stuff on your Instagram page, which I recommend, but also like slipping in lifestyle, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, that definitely makes more sense because as I think about the sequence that we built, the initial message, that's cool. And then, once I send them the video, it's a video of me talking about the thing. So,
Yeah.
so maybe, yeah, that, just that could work on its own, even if it's coming from the second account, because it is providing value.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah. That's what I'd recommend.
Charlie, is about lead gen now. Do you have time?
Yeah, unless anyone else has any like
If anyone
questions, I don't
else,
want to
you can
just
go.
answer.
Yeah, if anyone else, you can go. But if you don't, I can.
Anyone got questions? No. Okay, yeah, just yeah, hang on, I think.
Yeah, my
Oh, I got
Legion has my Legion
Yeah,
has
wait,
been.
Edward, wait.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. But
I just had just one quick question. So the process, let me get it right. Okay, cool. So I create my Instagram account, create content on my Instagram account, right? Get leads. I have a form inside of the bio. They put their email, they put their SMS and things of that nature. They enter that, but I do that of creating the account and push them to the link. Okay. Then after that, I set up the go high level, which then automates them to book a call with me, basically. So I got it all right, right?
yes, you're asking, should you do that or yeah, is that it? Just like, should you? Yeah.
No,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just asking, should I do that? And then how does that correlate with outbound? Because that was just inbound. That was the inbound system I was thinking about. The outbound system will be the go high level, right?
Uh, yeah, so outbound, you would ideally just want to like get them or create like a scheduling link that they can just book a call basically.
All right.
Or you could just agree on a time and then send them an invite on Google Calendar. There's no right or wrong, but it's just easier and they're more committed if they actually book themselves, compared to you sending them a link, if that makes sense. But for
All right.
your bio, yeah, you can have like a apply to work with me, and then they put their name, email, phone number, and maybe like a few questions to qualify them.
Mhm.
And then yeah, like you would have the automation to like send them a text message and
Yeah.
book them in basically. That's a possibility, which should be fine.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that. That's it.
Awesome. Okay, sweet. Yeah, best of luck with that. Okay, go for it, Edward, quickly.
Sorry, I got a few quick things to say. With my Legion, I've been doing the influencer thing, as you said, and the LinkedIn, but I need to find like a more predictable way of actually scraping the leads, from LinkedIn, and that way is either do I pay someone to scrape it for me, um, or like the manual work it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Or sorry.
Yeah, I recommend using the Upwork method, which, if people don't know, is basically you go onto Upwork and you find like someone who already pays for like all these softwares and then just like leverage their like softwares and get them to do a search basically for you. But yeah, if I was you, Edward, I'd probably just go onto Upwork and message like a bunch of like people, lead scraping people, and see who can do it for like the cheapest, but also like good quality.
So what I need to do is ask. So everyone that has all this lead generation thing already that they pay for, and ask for them to describe the list.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Uh, okay, I got a few softwares in mind. Let me just do that. Also, one thing is as well as the DMs and things. Once I get more capital, do you think I should do Instagram inbound ads where I just do my offer, whatever, and then just get them to follow my page, and after that, it'll be like a long-term nurture type of thing.
Yeah. If you're doing Instagram B2B ads, I always recommend basically running the ads to your personal brand and using your personal brand as the VSL, but also middle of the funnel. So that's where they get nurtured over time. So yeah, that would be the correct thing, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because it generates the most attention. It generates actually attention to your page, and they just more qualified leads actually follow you, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot more common nowadays to see that. So that's what I'd recommend. Just make sure your profile is actually good, because if you like get people to actually get onto your profile and you pay for them, then you need to make sure you actually have like good content to nurture them in the middle of the funnel. So eventually get them to like buy basically, if that makes sense.
Okay, cool. Um, okay, cool. I'm gonna do the Upwork method. I'm just gonna Upwork and Fiverr just to really talk. So what? So shall I like every like lead generation thing like that's out there? Shall I just ask if they can just do it for me?
Yeah. So you literally go on to, I'll share my screen quickly. Okay, so you would literally go into your Upwork client account, which is free to make. You would search for lead generation, and once it loads, it takes time, but you would see that you'll find email list build. You see all these guys are very cheap, $5 an hour. You'll want to make sure their success rate is like over 90%, 95%. And what you would do is you'd basically have a copy and paste message. So you would say something like, are you currently paying for, I don't know, softwares, and how many LinkedIn leads can you get for me? If you would just put like a search out, and then once you message like everyone, see which person has like the best offer, and then go with that person basically, if that makes sense. But it's really easy to do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, yes, that's fine. From there, because with LinkedIn, especially my niche, it says the exact name of owners, and then from LinkedIn, I just copy and paste. If they can copy paste the numbers and especially names, I just copy and paste the names into Instagram, and it's direct actual people that within my niche instead of doing all these like companies things, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Okay. Anyone else? Oh, we good? No one's got any more questions? Okay. I mean, if you guys have any more questions, just put it in the community. Because I can always record looms, or I can always like respond back to it. So any like question that's long, put it into the community and I'll record a video for you. Or I'll try to at least. And I've also updated the classroom. So if you want like the outreach trackers, or you want I don't know, like an ad tracker. So if you run like ads or something, I've basically should probably show you, but I basically put that into the classroom section here. So in this one, you'll be able to have, everyone should use this for sales, which is total meetings, or like the goal of total meetings you want, how many you want to show up, close, you get the point. And then you would actually put like how many meetings, just so you have better data. And then also for outbound, I've given you this tracking sheet, which is probably like really good, but it's also really important you actually track this so you have good data. You've got an ads tracker and also contract. And I'll put the recording of this call in here so you can actually watch this back if you need to. But yeah, hopefully this helps a bit, guys. And I'll catch you next Sunday. If you have any questions, put in the community. And once
One more
again,
time. One more.
yeah,
One
go
more
for it.
time. How do I find the what's the word? I just forgot. How do I find the text template for the outreach
Yeah, go to the
in the
classroom
classroom? Yeah.
and click on this module here,
All right.
and you'll see that there'll be resources here.
Which one is the out? Not the tracking sheet, but the like the actual messages,
Say that again.
like the actual messages to send out.
Oh, you mean like a script
The
template?
script, yeah, script. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, so I don't recommend having a script for outbound, because if
Okay,
everyone,
cool. All
if
right.
I put a script in here and like everyone what's it called,
Yeah, it's
used
gonna
the
be
exact same
repetitive.
thing, then it wouldn't work anymore basically.
Right.
But I did you watch the like hour-long video I sent you? I don't know if I
Yeah, I watched that one.
Yeah, so you'll know like it's better to have a framework and to build your own first message, because if you build your own first message and your
Yeah.
second message, then it wouldn't have never been seen before by your prospects.
Okay, cool. Appreciate that.
Awesome. Okay, I'll speak to you soon, guys. Have a great week ahead. And yeah, enjoy.